Hi guys, it's me again. I'm doing a request video for Suzy Doll 07. She asked me how to break a Miss Whippy in half. Now, I have personally never done that, but I'm going to give it a go. Mine was usually, you know, how I wrap my stuff. It was wrapped for a one-time use thing, but I'm really going to try. This is the only Miss Whippy I have with me at the moment, so it's basically hit or miss. I don't know. I'm trying to think about this the smartest way possible. Since there's no seam, no, like, visible seam, kind of like, let's see. Like, for example, this is Big Blue. You can see that it's two pieces stuck together with, like, a visible seam. So since this one doesn't have one, I am trying to think about the smartest way possible to go about this. Well, let me just tell you what I'm going to use. This is just a flathead screwdriver. I just stole this off of my husband. It's just pretty nifty. Well, I got it for him, and I took it back. I guess that's kind of bad, but anyway. So, that's what I'm using. It's like a regular screwdriver with a flat head. You could just use whatever you want. So, that and a hammer. And I'm trying to think about the smartest way to go about this. Now, I'm thinking, if I want to break it in half, and guys, bear with me, this is the only one I have. So if this crumbles, I apologize. I apologize, Suzy Doll. I'm really trying. Okay, so I'm thinking if we kind of make little notches in the center, and then on the other side, it might break pretty clear. So I don't know. Let's just give this a try. I hope to God this works. I'm just going to start with the center just in case. And I don't know if you can see this, but okay, you guys really can't see this. I'm just basically taking my hammer and hammering the top of this. Can you see? There. Yeah. So just lightly hammer down. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. It's almost breaking. I'm going to try to wiggle it out. Okay. Now, you see it's got quite a visible crack in the center. I don't know if you can see it. It's got quite a visible crack. It's not centered completely, but I figure if we try to break it, yeah, no. We're probably going to have to flip it over. See, the crack is kind of cracked like this, which I thought as much it would happen because it's got a little layer on the inside too. So we might just take it from the top again. Okay, usually with Lush bath bombs, you're going to end up with a better side and you're going to end up with a crumbly side. It's just the way it is. I don't know, maybe other people don't, but that's just what I've figured out. So I guess you're going to have, okay, hold on. Let me just take it one step at a time. I'm going to hammer this down again, down the center, because this is going to, okay, see, it's already, alright. So, last couple were kind of big. So now, okay, if you can see, it's basically two halves, I guess. Not the neatest halves in the world, but two halves. So, it's not bad. Like, my theory kind of worked. So, all you're going to have to do is basically, and I'm really not prepared at this point. So I'm just going to grab something and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with my handy dandy little sandwich bag. Like I told you guys last time, you just flip open this top and then flip open, well, rip open really, this side. So now you're going to look at these two. Which one looks more crumbly to you? I'm guessing it's this one because you see all the little pieces. So you're going to take this bigger piece that worked out well. You're going to just put it in there. So, again, why I always cut my Lush stuff on Ziploc bags or Hefty bags or whatever they are. Because one side, with me at least, my experience is usually going to crumble. So all I'm going to do is just fold this over. Well, take the bigger pieces and go ahead. I ripped open the top parts. Open it up and plop it on in there. And basically with a bath bomb, it really, just like a bubble bar, it really doesn't have to be that pretty. I mean, I understand you'd like it to be two perfect halves, but I mean, this is pretty much two halves. Because at the end, they're going to fizz anyway. But, I mean, I know it hurts more with a bath bomb because you want it to be pretty in the water until it fizzes out, but I don't know. So basically we folded the tops over, and now we're just going to sift it into the bag. Really shake it all into the bag and lay that down. Okay, so I can see quite a bit of dust left over. So, I mean, as far as you want to take it, you could just kind of push it all in with your finger to make the powder kind of heavy, I guess. It's really how far you want to take it. Flip it on over again, and then dust it back into the bag. So that's that. And then, like I said, it's not pretty, but, I mean, you are getting what you wanted, I guess. You are getting 2 halves. So, that's pretty much 2 halves. So, yeah, that's what I would do. Just because we're here right now, and people ask me, I get a lot of questions about how it looks when you break a bath bomb that's got something in it. So, this is a Twilight of mine. Obviously, it's not perfectly stuck together, but I break it along the seam. If you can see the seam, I can't see if you can tell, but the seam's right there. Mistakes will happen, I guess. It really depends on the angle you're hitting your screwdriver into the seam. But see, like, this is what it turns out like. So, like I was saying, the pink is more and the blue's less, and then the blue is more here and the pink is less. So it's basically half and half, just, you know, a little different. A hard one that I found to break was Dragon's Egg. That turned out pretty messy, but, I mean, it can be done. I mean, they're pretty much equal. It's just, if you look at it, like, technically they are equal, they're just, I don't know, they're just very messy. But that's all I'm trying to say, is that you can definitely split them. This is what half of the Miss Whippy looks like. I don't know if this is really, like, drowning out, like, blaring out the color, but I don't know. So, just because we're here, I'm going to just show you, and I learned a really good tip from somebody on YouTube. I forget her name, but I will definitely give a link to her video. She suggested that you break your bath bombs in something like this. If you're doing it on a carpet and you don't want to get powder into your carpet, that's an awesome tip. Break the thing in there and then basically sift it out. However, the only thing I found an issue with, and that's just me, I mean, I don't know, a lot of the powder gets stuck there and then you're going to have to fiddle with it and sift it on in, but that's just me, I don't know. It's a really, really good tip. That's how I did it before I figured I could just do it on a cutting board or something flat with like a gallon bag under and then, you know, dust it on in. So that's what I usually do, but I mean, to each their own. Now that we're here, me personally, I love Big Blue. My family loves Big Blue, so I tend not to break it. But sometimes when I'm kind of pinched on money, I will break them. But just because this is my favorite, I try to use the whole thing. So, okay, this is how it works. You're going to look around. You're going to see for a place where the seam, you can see the seam running along them. You're going to look for a place where there's a crack, or at least where the seam looks very weak. Like here probably wouldn't be the smartest idea, or here at all. But you can see like here is pretty vulnerable, so there's smart. Or along this crack, like maybe here where the crack's a little bit wider. But if you look at it, and if you want it to be a perfect half, the crack is slightly above the actual intended seam. So it's going to be, this part's either going to break at a diagonal or it's going to be smaller than this side. So I would probably do it as close to the center intended seam as you probably, like, as you possibly could. So I'm going to lay this down here, and I apologize if you can't see this, but like I said, right there on the seam, okay? Right there. Again, you're just going to dig this in as far as you can. Don't ram it in because it'll break in a weird way. It's going to wobble around. That's why you want something sturdy. And again, you're going to just hit it a little bit. Just very lightly. I don't know if you can see this hitting. You probably can't, can you? Okay, well, just imagine it. Yes. I'm just hitting very lightly, like this. You can hear by the sound. And then at the end, when I feel like it's pretty vulnerable and it's ready to break, I'm going to give it one hard hit. So, you're just going to shimmy it on in there. Try to be as perpendicular to the cutting board as you can. So I'm just... Okay, see, and it went through, but it didn't cut properly. So, you can see the crack ran along here, and I really don't want that. So, I'm going to flip it over on the cut itself, and try my level best to kind of just make a little dent in the seam where I want it to cut, and then hit it there again. Okay, so now, of course, with my luck, one is going to be great and one is going to be weird, but it helped out quite a bit. So instead of it being completely diagonal, it's just a little bit on this side. So again, if you really want to fix it, you can you can just, you know, hold it down. Ooh. Hold it down and cut that part. Again, it's up to you. And then wiggle it off. So now technically you have a perfect half. Yeah, a perfect half. And then you have the little deformed half. But, I mean, like I said, it's basically give or take. You always want to put the bigger one in its own Ziploc and the powders and the smaller one together so that it's actually making up half, even though it's a little bit crumbly. So again, put this away in its own little Ziploc bag and sift this one in. So I'm not going to do that now, but that's basically it. If you have any more requests, I would be happy to help you out. So yeah, just keep them coming and let me know how you like this one. Suzy Doll 07, I hope you like this. Thank you for the request. And if you guys want anything else, just let me know and I would be happy to help you. Bye.